It's Cindy P. I'm out here trying to get some work done, but I can't keep. Oh, let me take this off. Apostle Brian, he's out there. He has a very good scope on right now, and I don't know how to not so much share on it. But also, I like to choose my audience because my little Twitter account, when I even started that one time, I don't want those people, sometimes they call them knuckleheads, getting out there saying anything to Apostle Brian, so I don't do that share thing, and this subject is sort of heavy. So yesterday I had responded to it, but I took it off my page because for reasons, and I was hoping it was there. I was going to try to send it back because he's now out there. He's asking some very good questions because he has a piece, and I'm going to put the piece below, but I've already did my response to it. So yesterday, place now, I'm going to move a little bit because I don't want my voice traveling, because this is a sensitive like type subject, and I got to go somewhere shortly. Oh God, it's dark in here, but I got to go somewhere shortly, that is to do some work today, because I do certain type work. So right now I was trying to get my paperwork done and get on to my next stop, but he came on and it was so good. But something that he said yesterday about the deaths, that was very, we would say, close this door. It was very sort of deep, that is. And when I say deep, meaning, not all people can handle certain knowledge, and they get real ignorant. You see, I ain't got time to be nice and pretty. They get real ignorant when they see some things and start making all type of crazy statements. Then sometimes it's just not for everybody. They can't understand it. But now he's asked some serious questions out there, and I pray to the believers, meaning that he can get good response. He's asking us questions about a great leader, man of God that we all knew and loved. So this is my response, Cindy P, to some things. How can I say it? I think yesterday, I'm going to go back to what I said about the deaths. I had just prayed prior. Probably was it about 3 days prior to his coming on, or Monday it had to be. And I was asking the Lord about deaths. I just got to be plain. I just got to shoot it. So when he gave his response, what I really was thinking, yeah, I think that's what, I heard. But at the same time, I don't claim to be all perfect, like I'm hearing this. But I know I thought what God did tell me, and probably what I have thought. But because it's so sensitive, and I ain't talking about the man of God that he's talking about, there are some people that I knew had gone on. And I asked mainly more so because the devil tries to put people under bondage of fear. And I wanted to, yes, overtake that, bring that subject. But also, if I can get a good answer, I could do that. I could bring a subject better. So Apostle Brian is out there, and he's making it plain. But he's also asking about that teaching. Now, all I'm going to say right here and now, I have read that teaching. I didn't get a chance to get all into studying that either. But Bishop, well, I don't even want to say the names. I leave all that alone. I leave for the big shot people to go doing all that. But I had read that about the kingdom, and I might have had some similar concerns about that teaching. But I wasn't dogmatic about it. He's not being either. I'm saying I wasn't. So he has a good question today about the kingdom and the king. And I was out there. I did it real quick. I think that I want to understand what the man of God was saying. Because sometimes what we think people are saying, they're not saying. And sometimes what we try to say is not clear. So I'd like to think that that man of God understood that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life, and no man can come to him but by the Father. And he wasn't trying to belittle Jesus, I hope. That's what I was trying to give the benefit of the doubt. Now let's move forward to the point. It's when your voice carries, people try to listen. So now let's move forward to a point that I think he's saying. I'm on a break now. But let's move forward to a point that he said. What did he say? About he has just, I just have to come back to this bump it. Okay, now I learn how to come back. I used to didn't know how to do that. Okay, he asked a question about the king and the kingdom, because how can you preach the kingdom and not preach about the king? And my response real quick was basically, the king brought the message. I'm saying sometimes it's just syntax. Our difference is how we not so much interpret, but it's how we say things. And I've learned a long time ago that is syntax. That sometimes we're saying the same thing, but it's just that we each say it differently, and because communication is such a key thing, or we've learned in life. I've learned, especially with age, you used to think we were all saying the same things, or we were communicating the same. And communication is not just talking; it's how we perceive and understand things. So I'd like to think that Christ did come teaching the kingdom, and the gospel to me is the good news of the kingdom. And I thought about that the other day when I was out talking to some people in ministry, and I said, this is not a sad day, this is a good day. And the good day is because the gospel is the good news. And the gospel to me was that if you're sick, you can be made whole. If you need healing, you can have deliverance. If you are oppressed, whatever you have need of, you can be free of that today. And that's what Christ brought to the earth. That's how I saw that. But it did not mean that he wasn't the way to the Father, as he said. It did not mean that you could get salvation any other way. It just meant that he brought the good news. So no, he didn't need to come preaching about himself. He was the Word. He was already there. It goes back to the point, what did they say that comes to mind when he said, several times he said it, they didn't have any need to even fast, he said, because he was there. But when he left, then you had to look towards some things. But that wasn't the one I was really thinking about. It was another one where, he said, it's because he's here. So there are some things he didn't need to preach. He just need in word like that, but he did say that no man could come to the Father but through him. But that was another process to me, that you needed him to do that. But so he's gone now. So people did need to come to, they need to come to Jesus now. He's not here. We need to get them to him. But he was on the earth then. So he came to do what he needed to do. Salvation was present. Maybe I'm seeing some of this now even more, and I'm going to cut this thing off. But maybe he was there. And what he came doing was telling them he just told them to be made whole. But I'm going to leave that because I don't have time now, and I'm not comfortable kind of doing it right here. But he didn't need to maybe preach salvation. That's something to think about. Salvation was what it was. They need to be free. They need to be made whole. They need to be delivered. But now he's gone. He's gone. So we need to teach them about Jesus. We need to teach them. They don't have him with them now as they did then. He left the comforter. He went away and he left the comforter to be with us. But at the same time, we have to show people how to receive Jesus, how to receive the comforter. And I'm just hitting some bits and pieces. I got to go right now. See y'all a little later. But those are some points. But Bishop Brian Keith is out there. Have a great day.